Hello everyone, welcome back to Silver Tears Tarot. Today we're doing a Soulmate Snapshot and we're going to do the one we talked about yesterday. So this is the one about whether or not you should be the one to reach out. And we're just going to jump right in. Of course, it's going to be a general reading as always. May not resonate with you, won't resonate with everyone for sure. But if you do find that it resonates with you, maybe take a look and see if some of the other readings do as well, because this is all, we're doing these readings all together as part of the collective. And honestly, they're all very much connected. So you may just want to subscribe if you find out that this is you. So we'll go ahead and get started. And we're going to start by looking at the energetic backdrop today and just kind of see, again, this is like, it's what mood the energy is in. And we're just kind of trying to get it for the day. We get it every day for some, sometimes it's just what's surrounding your person. Sometimes it's just what's surrounding you. Most of the time, it's the energy that's in the background and we'll see what comes out. And sometimes you'll see your person comes out a little bit more, or maybe you do. So, ooh, okay, well, so we've got the Tower. That is not small information. That's kind of a big deal. So something is in the process of happening. That's what's happening in this energy here. This is very much energy of action. It is something that is moving forward at this time. Now, we knew this was coming. We know that we saw in the yesterday's these extended readings have been getting kind of insane. So we yesterday we did a reading about the communication that wants to come your direction. Is this person really going to communicate? What's it really going to look like? What do you need to know about it, especially given that you're not the same person anymore? And so when we got into the extended, we got in there to see like the nature of the communication. And it was, I would just say, helpful to understand overall what's happening there. This is not at all surprising then. So if you saw that, you won't be surprised to see this Tower. It's, and here we notice that like I don't remember which deck it was using the Tower and Death cards almost intertwined or almost interchangeably. So here something is actually changing. This is the energy of right now there's change. Good to know when you're thinking about reaching out to somebody or you're thinking about them reaching out. So, okay, right off the bat we get there's a connection that you can check in on to understand where they are with all this. Sit down, go into your meditation, feel around for them. They're going to be there. You'll be able to tell kind of where they are as they're going through this. But that's like spying energy. So use it sparingly, really only when it seems like you can't avoid it. Or honestly, sometimes you'll go in there and they'll just be there. That's not spying energy. That's just there. But when you go in actively looking for it, then be sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. You've got the Three of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands, the Three of Pentacles says that there's an energy between the two of you that actually is pretty copacetic and is working together pretty well. The Queen of Wands is reiterating that message that we've seen in so many of our readings where there's just this insurmountable attraction. In fact, that's what's bringing you that's what it's bringing you, the communication and that wave, that 5D wave coming your direction. And I really should have said, it doesn't matter whether they reach out to you or not. That 5D wave of their presence is coming regardless. So there's more in this energy. They are feeling a little bit worn out, a little bit tired from, it's just been a long time. A lot of time has passed. A lot of things have happened. It's never really felt like there was much downtime from an emotional perspective. And here's a person who kind of feels like they need some downtime from an emotional perspective. I get that sense from this card. Don't always get that from this. I also get the sense that it's like, you know what, you're fine. Get back on your feet. You can totally handle this. Which feels like a terrible thing to say to this person right here. But the energy says that they've gone this far and they can go that next few steps as well. So they're in the middle of change. This is significant change of the relationship itself that has a lot to do with the proximity that your energies are in at this point. We've got the Five of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. So right off the bat again, they're not feeling like they can measure up, but they're feeling like that connection is there. They're feeling like there's just this outrageous amount of struggle as they push against this. They're, you know, one of the things that we saw in the reading a couple days ago is that they have an incredibly difficult time dealing with the attraction coming from you. So they've got this attraction for you, and they can feel the attraction coming from you, and they have a significant issue with that, and we don't exactly know why. Here we're able to see that they're holding you in some very high regard, but they still struggle to be able to handle the emotions that result from the two of you kind of being close to one another. There's so much love here. There's unconditional love, and we've already seen that unconditional love is very difficult for a person who is unable to get into the flow of things, and that's definitely the sense that we have. It's difficult for them to get into the flow of things, to allow things to flow. We just saw that yesterday in yesterday's reading, that they were having a hard time, and yet that's what they need to learn to do. There's a lot of needing to learn how to flow with the situation. And right now there's a lot of struggling, and it's very difficult for them to do. So basically the path is laid out for them to walk down it, but they're doing anything but. Give them a little bit of time with this Tower. I think you may see some change in that. All right, so nothing like a little wild to kind of spruce up the energy of the energetic backdrop. So the question was, should you be the one to reach out? So again, good to know this is what's happening in the background. And that's why we do it. Honestly, that's why we do it. So we've got the Seven of Swords. Not really the card that I ever want to see, I guess, in this type of context. So the Seven of Swords is about deception. It's about doing things for not necessarily the right reasons. It's got that Five of Swords, not doing things for the right reasons kind of feel to it, even though it's the Seven of Swords. And sometimes, you know, I don't necessarily read the textbook responses or the what the cards always are. Sometimes I'm reading more the energy that's always, I'm reading more the energy coming off the cards. So check this out. We have the Ten of Swords and the Everything is Fine card that have come out in the same reading. So as you'll see, the graphics for them are the same. They're a little bit different in that the Everything is Fine card has a lot to do with that outward appearance, you know. Here with the Ten of Swords, we actually see that things have a chance to begin to be fine. That's part of the reason that it is so attractive to reach out to them. It's like you're able to feel that too, that things really do have an opportunity to get better. And okay, we don't want those. I don't think we want them. If we do, then they will come back out. I didn't get the sense that they were the ones that needed to come out now. So there is, though, okay, so knowing that your person is wanting to move towards you, knowing that there's this huge attraction here, one of the reasons there's a huge attraction is because they remember how it felt to be around you initially, like before things got wrong, before things got weird. The way things felt to be around you initially was a delightful thing. It took their pain away. Something that they were already kind of working around and very conflicted around, that they had been trying to face from the standpoint of their values. You helped them feel better about that, and they want to feel that again, especially because they're now in crisis with it. So now we have the Moon in reverse, or I'm sorry, the Moon in the upright and the Sun in reverse. Then we also have the King of Wands in reverse. How can I hold these all together? Let's see here, because those are what we want. Okay, so we have the King of Wands in reverse to talk about the amount of control that they feel like they need over this situation. Right there, it is a warning that, like, this is a tenuous balance. I don't know if I would want to mess with this, by reaching out. But that's me, not necessarily the cards. They are feeling like there's a missed opportunity here, and they're very conscious of it. But they don't exactly know how to look at the situation. That's what the moon is telling us. They don't have any idea. It's a little bit unclear to them. And honestly, it's like something that's a little bit out of sight and out of mind, and they can't quite get a focus on it anyway. So it's frustrating, and they just leave it out of their overall picture. But it's something that actually still does matter and is important. Emotional self-mastery plays a significant role in this, because right now they feel like they're trying to come into their own with regard to a little bit of that emotional self-mastery. We know that they compare themselves against you. They feel like they come up short. It's another reinforcement for maybe not reaching out to them, because it will put this back to the beginning. It's going to put it back to the beginning. It resets the healing process in the event that you decide to do that. There's a huge learning here on your part. It's about allowing the change to occur without interfering with it. On their part, it's more about actually getting in and making that change. So a couple days ago, I think it was, and they're all starting to get very confused as far as which reading it was, but there was this one a couple of days ago where we saw it come up in the reading, but then we saw the oracle card that came up also said, okay, so they've got they've got some realizations that they're coming to, and they need to take their passion that they're attracted to. They need to take that attraction and align it with their ability to do. They need to align it with their ability to accomplish something, and then allow that to move forward. So it was about, hey, don't do it for them. Don't do the work for them. Make them come back and complete this, because otherwise they have to start over again. So I'm getting that sense here. Also, if you have to reach out to them, like it's you work in the same company and you are being forced to send an email or to check in with their department or something, and you can't help it, like that's not what we're talking about here. This is I can feel you there. Do you want me to just make this easy for you and reach out? The answer for that one is definitely not, because they are building some truths. They're looking a lesson in the eye right now, which we've seen, but here it is, and they're actually looking at it. They're actually ready to soak the lesson in, but they are not particularly feeling receptive to it. With the Two of Wands and the King of Cups, both of them coming in reverse, there's a little bit of an edginess to their energy right now, and it's coming entirely from this. It's edgy, and it's going to cause them to be, if you reach out to them right now, you're likely to cause them to turn tail and run. That's the kind of energy that they're in. Okay, so that kind of answers the question several different ways for us. It's saying, that you would reset their healing. If they're working on some emotional self-mastery, but you would be resetting their healing. Also, I don't think they're going to receive it as well as they could potentially. And it has a lot to do with this energy that they're in right now and some of the guilt that they still feel. But they're right in the business end of engaging another lesson. And if you reach out to them, they're going to turn tail and run and not engage the lesson. So it will actually lengthen your time. You're in lesson mode before you're able to be in better communication. So I would say this is a great time not to reach out, but instead to sit tight. Let's see what else you can be doing, what else you could be focusing on in this time of allowing this person to reach out. I had a couple of cards that hit the ground there. We want the top one. Okay. Well, this is a very get your house in order kind of feeling here. So there's something here that has shifted as a result of this person. Something that was always in balance before, but now isn't. And it's not something else that happened in your life. It is specifically your reaction to this person. So if things have gotten a little too heavily weighted in their direction, there may be a strong attachment there that you may have some expectations, some assumptions about them, some strong hopes for the outcome of the situation that honestly you will do best to release those attachments to the outcomes of the situation. And you've probably heard it before, but that's really where the focus needs to be on this. It's again about going with the flow, not worrying about what's coming next. We see that a lot. We also see get out and have a good time. So when the Three of Cups comes up, I always go, oh gosh, what's this going to be? But this one's about going out and having a good time. Go out and you forget about this for a while. It's going to be really beneficial for you to get out and to think about something else for a while, to just not worry about it. It'll still be here waiting when you get back. We talked yesterday, I think it was, but I can't remember if it was in the extended or not, about that feeling of being afraid to stop thinking obsessively about your person. And this was like an example I came up with. It felt really extreme. So it may be a very minor version of this for you, but it was like a feeling of not wanting to quit. I didn't want to quit obsessing about my person because they'll feel like I forgot about them, that sort of thing. And this is just saying, you know what, you can definitely walk away for a little while. You can come back and obsess later. So that's a little tongue in cheek, but the concept is definitely to get out and go do some enjoyment, go do something that you enjoy doing, just lighthearted enjoyment. Doesn't have to be anything super calculated, doesn't have to be anything super planned out. Just go have some fun and give yourself a break from this. There's definitely movement away from what is truly going to make you happy because of this. And it's the pressure of this is kind of causing you to skew in a direction that will not make you happy and was never really going to make you happy. But it's like you're trying to make another wish come true so hard that you are pushing the rest of your life out of true. Here is a change that needs to happen. This one, though, is for you. So this tower over here may be happening for both of you, but it's more strongly impacting your person. For this one, it's you. Because remember, they had that communication tower. We read about it a few days ago. I did a reading about it a few days ago. Here's one that is for you. And maybe we need to look a little bit more closely into what's coming for you. Or maybe it comes out here. You have the right attitude going into this. So there's something really positive about your attitude going into this, and something really positive about like the side of the bed you woke up on in the morning whenever this tower hits you, but you're still really resistant to it. And it's like, oh no, I've got these other things I have to finish first with the Six of Wands. I have these other things that I have to finish first, and that's why I can't engage in this thing. Not that I don't really want to engage in this thing, but you're really just making excuses and really just trying not to move into some space that we've seen this for you. We've seen this a couple of times where you've got something that you really need to confront and engage within your life that needs to change, or in some cases it's something that you're going to want to put an end to. It's quitting drinking, it's quitting that obsessive thinking, it's finding something, engaging in something else to do with your time. There's all kinds of ways that this could be, but there are a lot of reasons why you've why you might want to move in a new direction, but there's a significant reason why you haven't yet found the energy to do so, and it has to do with the energies around this person. It's time for you to make a decision to cut something out. And it's difficult to say what that's going to be. That could be something very small that leads to something bigger. It is time for you to cut something out. I don't know that it's this big thing. I think that might be a rash move. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that. Only you would know. Something that you were about to pass by, all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, bring it back. It's something that just you realize, I do want that. I do want that. Please do bring it back. And it's going to be, you are not coming at this from a depraved sort of position of lack. Okay, you're coming at this on a day that you woke up on the right side of the bed, and you have already learned so much in this experience with your person that you are ready to walk confidently in the right direction. It's just like you have to catch yourself on this day, and that's got to be when the need arises to allow this tower to fall, because you've got masculine and feminine energy that wants to be in balance at the same time, and that basically makes you unstoppable. So what's significant about this? It's like this is true of you at any time. You always have this thing that needs to change. It's been following you around for as long as I've been doing these readings. And you are a strong, amazing person who is continuing to make all of these strides forward. So at no point am I surprised that things could align perfectly for you and you could figure out how to move forward and just do this this fabulous job of being in balance. But it's like it's got to happen on the right day. And what I'm seeing here is that this energy is moving you toward that right day. I wouldn't say pushing, I would say nudging energy to be right for you to have this right day. So heads up. You may be able to make a significant, and shoot the gap too. You may be able to make a fairly significant shift and an adjustment here and do incredibly well by yourself, but not have to expend a ton of energy to do so. I get it that this is a more efficient way to move through to a next step and to find some really nice, and this could be just for a short time, but really nice balance of that masculine and feminine energy. And I love that for you. So definitely we're getting the message that you should not be reaching out, but for your benefit and for theirs, getting this much pressure to want to reach out is part of what's driving you to balance these energies. I would say keep the pressure on. Make sure you allow this balance to happen because boy, is it going to be worth it. Boy, is it going to be worth it. It is so nice to see that, the complementary energy between this emperor and this empress. And if you look at them, even the colors in the pictures are nice and complementary that way. The energy as it comes together is just a beautiful thing. So that is what we're going to do for today. That's our soulmate snapshot. There's no extended on this one. You are not encouraged to reach out, but not for bad reasons. I still feel like you're going to, a lot of you are going to receive a communication. So it's like if you had waited another day, they were going to reach out to you anyway in some cases. We are going to look tomorrow, though. I'm still troubled by the fact that there's this extreme attraction between the two of you, and they're trying to manage their attraction to you, but they are just completely unable to handle your attraction to them, which is one of the reasons that it does seem like it supports not reaching out. So that's what we've got for today. Let's look a little bit more deeply into why they have such a hard time accepting this attraction energy coming from you. We'll look into that tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you then.